And how did Wildman die?
So, this is another thing I tell the kids in the schools. The Wild Man, he was my best friend from childhood. He was amazing on the channel, the YouTube channel, as a co-host because he would just say anything that come into his head. He was not politically correct at all. Everyone respected him and loved him. He was even R.I.P. Wildman was trending on Twitter when he died. But Wildman, he hammered it. Like I said earlier on, $100 crack rock in one breath. He would, because we had unlimited money, he had unlimited drugs. So he would smoke meth, he would smoke crack, and he'd stay awake for up to 2 weeks at a time. When he got arrested, they put a stent in his heart. And when he got out, even though he quit the drugs, he was still hammering the alcohol. When we filmed podcasts together, he'd always insist that we go bargain booze before he went home. And he'd buy multi-litre bottles of gut rot cider. And I think, the drugs and the alcohol, he was only in his 40s. The drugs and the alcohol did him in the end, it was multiple organ failure was the verdict.
It's such an evil drug, is alcohol, and you alluded to it earlier. I lost a very close friend of mine, Ian Royce, a number of years ago from alcohol poisoning, and it took a long time for me to realise actually he was an alcoholic. But by the time I did, he ended up falling over, hit his head against a pavement, got mugged, and then never recovered from that, and ultimately died as a result of alcohol poisoning.
And I think it was facing 200 years that crushed that selfish party person out of me. I just want to get high, get my party friends high, not thinking about the harm I'm causing society. Seeing the horror of what drug use led to in the prison. Like I said, that road of drug use is a very long one. These guys with hepatitis C, it's slow suicide. They know they're going to die, but the whole day revolves around getting the drugs in. And hearing
Were you using drugs in jail?
No,
did you use drugs in jail?
No, it was it was the wake-up call I needed, because I thought heroin users, lock them up, throw away the key. They're out snatching granny's purses. They live under bridges like trolls. But living with heroin users for 6 years was the best education in addiction psychology I could possibly have got. And when they opened up to me and started to tell me their stories, so many of them, Mark, were victims of adults who were attracted to kids and gone through those horrific crimes. So many of them had been thrown away, didn't even have parents, raised in care, where those adults who were attracted to kids work, and those things still happen. Seeing their parents die, the horror stories. So why were they on the brown stuff? They were on the brown stuff because they were never given the tools to deal with that childhood trauma. And when they got on the brown stuff, that was the first time they felt this warmth, and all the stress and all their trauma and all their tension melt away. And society looks down at these people as the scum of the earth. But there's an innocence about them, and they're victims of these predators. And we need to deal with it differently, I think.
A coping escapism.